What's up, guys? Stefan, S&E's Garage. Today we have the whole S&E family, and we're here in the Jeep that we've been featuring a lot on our channel, the 270,000 mile Jeep. Now here in the northeastern United States, especially the East Coast, we are getting a ton of smoke from all the wildfires here in Canada. And we actually just had a fire here not too close from our house in the Bass River State Forest. So we're out here right now taking some trails, and we're gonna go see if we can find where this fire was. It has long since been extinguished for probably, almost a week now. So it's totally safe to go explore it and see what we can find, what we can see. But let's go check out the aftermath of this fire here in the New Jersey Pine Barrens and see what we can't find exploring. So I don't know if you guys can see what we see here, but it is very hazy, and the haze is from a fire. And like I said before, the fire in Canada is raging. There's, what did it say, over 9 million acres are burning right now. So we're gonna go see, like I said, we're gonna go see the fire that was here. Now this is a trail in, like I said, Pine Barrens, New Jersey. I don't want to give the location because I don't want, a bunch of people coming out here ruining it. But if you're a local or you're from New Jersey or South Jersey, some of this should look pretty familiar to you. So like I said, let's go explore. All right, guys, so we're out here in one of our little pits that we frequent. There's a little hill climb over here we're going to do on the way out. I just wanted to stop and show you the sun. It is orange because of the amount of smoke in the atmosphere right now. But what we're going to do now is we're going to come under the Jeep and we're going to go ahead and disconnect our sway bars here with these rough country sway bar disconnects. It makes the ride here out in the woods a whole lot smoother, especially when you're going over ruts and whoops and things like that. It keeps the Jeep from rocking side to side. So we're going to go ahead and disconnect them. All right, guys, our disconnects are tucked safely out of the way. We're ready to rock and roll. So we're already in four-wheel drive here. We're gonna go ahead, come up this hill, and we're gonna get back onto the main trail. So here's our little hill climb here. Looking up and over. Mad at me because I don't have my seatbelt on. I'll fix that in a sec. Let's get back out to the main trail and head to the fire. Maverick, do you like Jeep rides? So we're cruising right now around 20 miles an hour with our sway bar disconnected, and the difference is night and day. You can hit some of these bumps relatively fast and the Jeep doesn't rock side to side because it doesn't have the sway bar fighting to try to keep it straight. It lets the front axle articulate and do what it needs to do to provide a nice smooth ride. So because this is almost like a drought, all of these dips here are usually very deep puddles. But it hasn't rained here for the better part of, I want to say, 2 or 3 weeks, and it's been relatively warm, so all of these puddles are dried out, which is kind of sad because I kind of like getting the Jeep muddy, but it is what it is. Okay, guys, so we're coming up on a set of puddles here that we call the Joey puddles because one of our good friends, Joey, got his Tacoma stuck in here pretty good and ripped the front bumper off. But we're going to go ahead and go through them. They're not very deep right now. They are some mucky, nasty mud. And here you'll see these ruts are actually where Joey got stuck. And you'll see just how wet and nasty this mud is. In fact, we're having to back up right now. We might be stuck. We might be stuck in the Joey puddle. Let's see if we can rock it out. If not, we're gonna be grabbing our winch. Yep, we're stuck. Let's go get our winch ready. All right, guys, so we got our winch set up here. You'll see we are framed out. That is our issue. We are hitting the front differential. But what I do want to show you here is our winch setup. Here you'll see a tree saver. So we have our tree saver with a D-ring and our winch. And we have Emily in the driver's seat. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring the winch line in. We're going to put some tension on it. And you'll see it's going to start the tension up. And Emily's going to start giving it a little bit of gas. Give it gas. And the winch is going to, in essence, get us out. Like so. A winch is a must-have if you're going out in the woods by yourself, as you can see. All right, guys, I'm glad we got stuck. I'm glad I got to show you how to use your winches if you have one. That's one way to do it. If we were really stuck, what I could have done is basically ran the line around the tree with a snatch block, more or less, and then hooked back up to my bumper, and that would have doubled our winching power. But in this situation, that was more than enough to get us out. We were not super stuck. But Emily did a fantastic driving, got us out of our predicament there, and we're back on the trail.
Look at the sun.
Kicking up a ton of mud, but we're back on the trail no less. All right, guys, so this is a spot here called 5 Points. Basically, they call it that because you'll see there's 5 different trails we can go down. We are going to be going straight here down this trail, and this will lead us to another intersection. And at that intersection is where the fire started. It's actually where they started doing the back burns to try to contain the fire. That, again, like I said, was in Bass River State Forest, which is a part of the New Jersey Pine Barrens. So here we are. We're just, again, cruising along at a brisk 15-20 miles an hour. Right now we're in 2-wheel drive. It's pretty hard packed here, and we have our Detroit True Track posi locker in the rear end, limited slip, whatever you want to call it, and it actually helps a lot in sand and dirt, believe it or not. So we're just gonna keep on cruising and make it over to the fire. Here in the Pine Barrens, this mountain laurel tree, bush, flower, whatever you want to call it, is plentiful. You'll see them lining the trails this time of year, and it makes for a nice trail ride, looking at all the native and not so native plants. You know, a lot of them are pretty. A lot of pine trees. Right, Maverick? Yep. And we're still on the main trail, making our way towards the fire. So this is a cool spot to drive past here. This is like a gun club or a hunting club. I'm not sure which, but it's out here. You know, we got to be 4 or 5 miles into the woods now. No power lines going to it, so I'm assuming they have no electric. Probably have a generator on site or something, but it's neat to see this kind of stuff out here. So here's a little intersection here. We're gonna keep going straight. If we go left, that'll take us out of the woods a different way. Right will take us actually to a military base, more or less like a bombing range. There was just a deer in front of us. Let's see if we can see that deer. Where'd he go? Oh, he's out in the woods. He's gone.
He's right there.
Some more mountain laurel there. So this is like a little overlook on the trail. It's probably one of the highest parts of the trail. You can kind of see over everything, and you can just see the haze in the air from this Canada fire, which is, it's amazing that we can, see the effects of it all the way here in New Jersey. So there's 2 more puddles coming up here. None of these should be deep, but there's plenty of trees to winch to if we need to. So we're shifted it into 4 high, and we're just gonna cruise through these like so. There's the first one, and I believe the second one is right up here, unless it's all dried out. Yeah, it's all dried out. This is where it was right here. So we're just gonna keep on going. All right, guys, here's another set of puddles. Same thing, we're gonna try to straddle these ruts and just kind of coast over it. I believe the left side is where I want to go on this one. I think the right side's a little bit deeper if I remember, but I'm just gonna cruise right through it. And then this was also a puddle that is dried out. Here in New Jersey and the Pine Barrens, we have a bunch of cranberry bogs. I'm not sure if this is an abandoned bog or if this is just, you know, a natural creek or something, but there's a bunch of dead trees and stuff in there. And we actually saw an otter in there a couple weeks ago when we were out here before the fire. Because we frequent this area, we like taking the kids out here. They like coming out in the Jeep. You'll see some posted signs. There's private property, you know, along this trail. Like I was showing you the gun club, there's actual people own cranberry bogs out here. And they actually sell some of their cranberries to Ocean Spray, if I remember correctly. But we're still in four-wheel drive just because I didn't shut it off yet. But we're actually coming up here to where they started to backburn for the fire. So this is the intersection here. So you'll see where the wood is starting to, you know, turn dark, and this is where they contained the fire from jumping to the next trail. So the forest fire, the New Jersey Forest Fire Service, did a phenomenal job. They actually ran a bulldozer down this trail here to widen it. You can see the ruts on either side from the dirt they pushed. That way they can get their fire trucks and their brush trucks and their other equipment down here. But this is just the beginning of the fire here. In a minute, once we get into it a little bit more, we're going to pass the camera over to Emily, and she's going to do some recording while I drive. We're going to go into where the heart of the fire was, where it was really bad, and check out some of the carnage. So you'll see here that the brush on the side of the trail is actually starting to get darker, whereas back there it was still a little bit green. So that tells us that in here the fire started to get quite a bit hotter, and it actually scorched some of the branches here on this side of the trail. So it could have very well jumped over this trail, but like I said, the Forest Fire Service here was out day and night making sure this fire didn't spread any more than it needed to. You can see that it is starting to get quite a bit, thinner, the woods. You can see the higher you're looking now, you're seeing more charred trees. There's actually an old barrel out there that somebody cut in half. Really weird. I wonder what's in that. I was talking to Emily and I told her this reminds me of like Lake Mead when the water receded and they started finding bodies. I'm sure that if you were to look deep enough into the woods, I'm sure there's mob bodies out here from, you know, the mob days here. We're not really too far from Atlantic City, and the mob was pretty prevalent in Atlantic City, so the idea of bodies being out here is, you'd be silly to assume that there aren't. So we have one more little puddle here. We're going to go around it just for the sake of, I don't really feel like dealing with it, and then we are going to be making a left on this trail right here. This is a new trail, I believe. This is what you would call a fire break. They tried to break the fire here, you know, break its back, but I guess it didn't work. But let's see what we can find in here. I'm gonna pass the camera over to Emily and she's gonna record and show you. This is where the fire got really hot. You can actually still see it's still smoking in some areas. Can you see that smoke right there, Em? On the camera? Do you see it? Look right there.
Yes, I got it.
And there too.
It's hard to keep this together.
It's okay. We're going over whoops and stuff. It's not going to be the steadiest video you've ever seen, but that's why we disconnected the sway bars to kind of help a little bit. It's a cool trail. It's sad to see all the trees are burned, but these trees all bounce back. All the pine trees that you're seeing here, they are not dead. Pine trees have very thick bark, and they will bounce back. A lot of the saplings are probably dead, and all, you know, the brush down below are dead, but the great thing about the fires is when the pine cones get hot, they explode and the seeds go everywhere, and you'll actually see a whole bunch of new growth after forest fires. The forest has an amazing way of rejuvenating itself.
What is all that metal in there?
Metal? Where? Where's their metal? Back here?
Yeah. What are those two cans right there?
What cans?
Those two jars. Metal cans or something. Right there.
Oh, it's right there. I don't know what that is. Let's go look. So some of this can still be hot. You need to be very careful when you're walking. You can see just how dry the ground is. But Emily's talking about these jars that are over here. I'm wondering what they are. Oh, these are glass, actually. They look like old candles or something. There's another one right here. This is wild. This is absolutely insane. Just the amount of carnage. There's absolutely not a green thing in sight. There's actually an old bench right here that Emily pointed out. Wild. So we're still here on the same trail going, and it's not getting any better. The fire was still super hot down this way. Everything that the eye can see is burnt. Looks like it starts to get a little bit better up here. Actually, it doesn't look like maybe it was as hot, but the woods is starting to get a little bit. The trail's getting a little thin here. Let's try to do the least amount of scratching to the Jeep as possible. Oh man. That'll all buff out. I'm not worried about it. We got a Jeep. Jesus God, that was bad. Holy mackerel.
Wow, look at that.
Ooh, damn, I'm hitting all kinds of stuff. Look at what I miss.
Look how thick the forest is. Trees were. Oh, that's scary, right?
This is starting to get a little thin up here again. You know, just look at this. This is insane. Looks like we're going uphill here too. Look at that. See the hill going up?
Yeah.
So I am in uncharted territory right now. I have not gone this far down this trail. But it looks like it starts to get pretty tight up there. So we're going to turn around right here.
Let's keep going.
Damn, it's getting tight up there.
So?
Alright, let's see how tight it gets. I was going to turn around here, but Emily wants to keep going. Let's see how it gets. Yes, look at how tight it gets up there. We're not going to make that. Let's figure out what we're going to do here. Yeah, we decided to turn around. It got a little too tight up there. Yeah, right, Brantley? So we're going to get back onto the main trail, go down a little bit further, and I think there's another trail we might be able to get onto. So there's like a little ravine here. It's pretty cool. But right here, you can actually see there's still some active smoke. There's no flames, but it is still smoldering.
Slow?
What do you see out there? Anything? Is that another trail down there? Looks like it might be.
Something. There is another trail.
Oh man, it's a little bumpy. This is what happens when people don't put out their campfires. They throw cigarettes in the road, especially after it hasn't rained. These fires are totally preventable and avoidable. So we're back here on the main trail, right about where we turned in. You see here we got some greenage on the end of the trail, so the fire wasn't too close to the end of the trail here. Oh, I thought that was another trail. But we're just gonna keep on cruising and see if we can find another trail going off to the left into the heart of the fire. I just wanted to stop and zoom in here. Still some smoking going on way back there out in the woods. Some more private property here.
There's a house there.
Yeah.
Foundation.
The foundation's still there, right? So it looks like it starts to get a little bit green here. Let's see, is this the end of the fire already? Or is this just a pocket that didn't get burned that bad? Yeah, see, because there's some greenery here. We're gonna go in four-wheel drive real quick. It's getting a little squirrely here because we're getting stuck in other people's tracks. Oh wow, there's actually a trail right here that like it kind of makes a Y, but I don't know if it's deep enough or wide enough for us or if this is a dirt bike trail. Yeah, that's a dirt bike trail, but it kind of branches off into it splits, which is pretty cool. We can actually see that the fire got hot up here again because everything's kind of getting charred up again. Alright guys, so we found a little trail off to the left here of the main trail, and I just hit a stump or something. That was big. But we're gonna see how far we can get down this one, or if we find anything. Hopefully it doesn't get too tight, but it still looks like here we're in the heart of the fire. This fire was pretty hot here. You can see there's really not much left to the tops of the trees. Here's a good little turnaround spot, and here's another trail. Oh, look at that. A wheelbarrow. What the heck? How is the rubber still on the tire? Oh my god. I wonder what else we'll find out here.
Hey, there's a trail there.
A trail, huh? I don't think I can take it. It looks too small.
Looks like there's more stuff.
This is crazy. Yeah, look, see this big stick here was what I didn't want to scratch us. Let me see if I can break this really quick. Here's another spot way out there where it's still smoking, still hot. I was able to snap that branch off back there so it didn't get us snagged on anything. And we're gonna take this trail for as far as we can and see where we end up here. Again, this is the heart of the fire.
Oh, still smoking bad.
Oh my god, is that an open flame still? It is.
Yes.
There's actually still an open flame here, guys. Look at that. Luckily for us, there's not a whole lot more fuel out here to burn, so there's almost no chance of this fire sparking back up and putting us in a bad situation. But the Jeep has reverse, so I'm not worried about it. But it looks like it's starting to get a little bit greener up here. So we might have to turn around up here if there's no more fire damage and start heading back towards the main trail again. This might be like a, no, I don't want to say a lake, but like a creek bed or something, because it's still green here. Or what used to be a creek bed, maybe. So so this isn't a trail. The trail actually goes this way. But it's starting to get green here, so we might be running out of fire stuff to look at.
Straight.
Jesus.
See what's straight?
I act like I don't care about this thing, but I really do kind of feel bad for scraping it up like I am. Oh wow, it got bad over here. Holy cow. This is incredible.
It's a weird tree.
Let me get out and break this branch really quick. So we're in like a little bit of a gully now. You can see the Jeep is a little bit below the ground. And we're a little sideways, but everything's good. Man, this was a huge fire, Em.
What is that?
I don't know, what is that?
What's that thing sticking up behind that tree?
Oh, look. What is this? There's like a random cement thing here sticking out of the tree, or out of the ground. What is this? This looks like one of the bumpers that you put on a parking lot, like to pull up to. And it's all melted from the fire. This is weird. I don't see any writing or anything on it. We got some more smolderage over here. Still smoking. It's starting to get a little tight up here, but we're way too far in to turn around now, so we're gonna work on that scrub oak finish here on this Jeep. We're still here in the fire, or the aftermath of the fire. Let's see what we can't find. That's a little close to the roof. So is that. Whatever. Just the sheer size of this fire is unbelievable. Whoa! I hit that.
What's down there?
I don't know. Is it like another one of those gullies or something? I keep finding these little, what I'll call green ravines. They're like these little ravines here, and I guess them being so low saved them from some of the heat of the fire. The trail splits here. We're gonna go left, and you can see some more smoke coming from the ground over here. Let's hope we picked the right way. Oh man. At this point, we're committed to come all the way through. Looks like there's a tree or something here I'm gonna have to run over, so I just gotta go nice and slow over it so it doesn't come flying up and hit us. Alright, ran that over. This is incredible. Doesn't look like anybody's been down this trail in a long time. So I think we found gravestones out here. Bugs all over the place. It looks like there used to be a building here or something, a foundation. There's a little hole. What is this? Oh, okay, I guess it's just a cement block. I saw the green and I thought it was maybe a gravestone. There was definitely some sort of building here at some point. You can see the foundation right here, back there. This is crazy. Alright guys, so we actually came up to a blockade and we had to turn around. So now we are on a different, much wider trail. And this is going to be on the other side of the fire. This is where they did a back burn, I believe, to try to control the spread of the fire, to keep it from getting to this point. So if we see anything cool, we'll start recording again. Our batteries are getting a little low on this camera. But we are, like I said, we're in a completely different spot now. So let's see what we can find. Ooh, a puddle. Let's put it in four-wheel. I got a couple trees here I could winch off of if I need to. Oh, that was fucking nothing. That was nothing. Put it back in two-wheel. This fire goes on for miles. This is insane. I can only imagine what the fires in Canada are like right now. This is only a drop in the bucket compared to what they've got going on. Alright guys, so we stopped here on the trail because we saw something out of the corner of our eye that we just had to come check out. I'll start recording when I get back up to it. Check this out. This is incredible. If anyone knows what kind of car this is, please put it down in the comments. There's no frame. The frame's gone. This appears to be just the body or the cab of whatever this was. Wow. This is incredible. You see the seat springs. Oh, this is so cool. Look at that grill, how cool that is. Holy mackerel. There's still wiring in there for the headlights. This is so neat. Bullet holes, it looks like, in the hood. You can still see the running boards here. This is so neat. Just goes to show you guys, you find some amazing stuff out here in the New Jersey Pine Barrens that never would have been accessible, and it never would have been seen if it weren't for that fire clearing the woods quite a bit. So that's incredible. That's the kind of stuff we like doing, and this is the kind of stuff we live for, is finding hidden treasures like that. And again, don't ask me for the location. I'm not going to give it to anybody, because something like that deserves to be there, you know, and for other people to enjoy without it being destroyed by people that don't respect that kind of thing. So I'm sorry, but I'm not going to tell anyone where it was, but it's pretty amazing that you find stuff like that here out in the woods. You'll see here we're still driving. We're still in quite a bit of remnants of this fire. So again, if we see anything else, maybe we'll find another car or something cool, and we'll update. Alright guys, we're going to end our video here. After every time we take this thing out, we take it here to the self-wash car wash and we power wash it. We don't want any of this mud sitting on the frame or the new bumper or the winch or anything like that. But I know we kind of changed directions here with the channel. This isn't usually the kind of stuff that we post. But I thought this was interesting and I wanted to take you guys along for the ride. So if you like my content, you like this kind of stuff, like, share, and subscribe. We're going to try to do this more. And if you like cars and you like working on them, we're the channel. So we'll see you on the next one.